So before we get to this, I mean, obviously he's kind of an idol of yours. What was the name of your bank going to be? I
I-
just can't even imagine you owning a bank. Can I have my money out? No.
The bank of your money ain't here.
Yeah. I know you gave him the money, and yes, it is accruing interest, but you can't have it.
You know, that's
Yeah.
funny how I would have run the bank is kind of like I just got done running a meeting. I said, does anybody have a problem with that? Okay. All right. And that's approved. As the NARI board president, Alan, that's exactly what I said.
Sorry, I'm genuflecting.
Thank you. Thank you. As you should. I think that would have been my bank. And you got a problem with that? You got a problem with that, buddy?
Is that the name of it?
That would have been it.
You have a problem with that state?
Can I get my money? No. You got a problem with that?
Instead of saying hello.
As soon as you walk in, you got a problem with
that?
Huh? Well, you're going to put money in? Okay. You want money? No.
Don't even think about it. Ask him what you're going to
We'll send you a loan, though.
Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent to that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse through the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from hitting your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop.
18 years in the making, and we are on to this podcast. What is this podcast? 18 years ago, I said, fuck it, I'm going to start my own business. And I threatened. And I did a lot of things that I did when I was at corporate America, and I had that job. You know, I had that corner office. I had the suits made. I had the Mercedes. I was going on boys' golf trips. I lived in a golf club community. I had kids in private school. I had a great bunch of friends, except one. And I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And they're like, all right, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. All right, what else are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. And then I started coming up with ideas. And going back 18 years ago, I thought, I'm going to start a community bank because I have zero banking experience, but I worked at a bank and I thought, well, I could do this.
De novo banks were all the rage back then.
They were. And I thought, you know what I'll do is I'll start one and then we'll merge and we'll sell because I do know how to do mergers and acquisitions in banks. I thought that was one. And they started looking at it going, no, that's not going to work. I'm like, okay, then I'm going to start looking at developing things. And I'm like, nope, that's not going to work either because I'm seeing some cracks at SunTrust. So then sitting on the back of one of my buddies' back decks, his name is David Rohr. He said, what are you thinking? I'm thinking, and this guy was here or there, and he was here for the conversation. I said, well, I'm thinking, you know, maybe a handyman business. And he goes, it's too small. Why don't you call it 1-800-CALL-CHRIS for all your things around the house? I'm like, that's too broad. That's too stupid. And we kept drinking and I got hammered per usual. And then I started building this business plan for it. And then I started shopping around with people. And I felt pretty good about what I did in terms of shopping it around. But I always had this one guy in my ear saying, you know, man, yeah, you can keep talking about it, but if you don't do it, you're never going to do it. If you don't do it, you're never going to do it. And I used to go to his basement and I used to go hang out with him a little bit, a lot. And he kept saying, if you don't do it, you're not going to do it. And I was like, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to do it. And so I made the leap. And I wrote the book From the Zoo to the Wild. And I have somebody who's actually quoted in the book sitting here on the podcast 18 years later because I've been afraid as shit to have him come on the podcast with me because he said, you know, man, if you go in halfway, you're going to be all the way out. He said, you'll be out of business before you knew it. And this is 2008 when I said I was going to start.
That was a legendary quote. You've dropped that one a number of times over the last 4 years.
If you're halfway in, you're all the way out.
Do you remember saying that, Joe?
I do.
Okay.
And he's right, because if you look at 2008, if you remember it at all, as an adult, I would have backed out really quickly because it would have been really easy to pull the plug and say, forget it, I'm not going to go on that journey.
So before we get to this, I mean, obviously he's kind of an idol of yours. What was the name of your bank going to be? I just can't even imagine you owning a bank. Can I have my money out? No.
The bank of your money ain't here.
Yeah. I know you gave him the money, and yes, it is accruing interest, but you can't have it.
You know, that's funny how I would have run the bank is kind of like I just got done running a meeting. I said, does anybody have a problem with that? Okay. All right. And that's approved. As the NARI board president, Alan, that's exactly what I said.
Sorry, I'm genuflecting.
Thank you. Thank you. As you should. I think that would have been my bank. And you got a problem with that? You got a problem with that, buddy?
Is that the name of it?
That would have been it.
You have a problem with that state?
Can I get my money? No. You got a problem with that?
Instead of saying hello.
As soon as you walk in, you got a problem with that? Huh? Well, you're going to put money in? Okay. You want money? No.
Don't even think about asking what you're going to
We'll send you a loan, though. But my loan docs all said VIG on it. And I realized that was not an appropriate financial term at the time. Well, I thought everybody grew up with that. There's a little VIG on this thing. And a cruise hourly, my friend. A cruise hourly.
Oh, gosh. So Jerry's kind of a big deal in your world then.
He is. He is one of my best friends. We have Jerry French on from awningsaboveus.com. And Jerry was one of those mentors that, and it continues to be somebody that we've shared a lot of stories with. There's a lot of things that won't go on this podcast that I told him we're not talking about. He's already raising his eyes going, yeah, we'll see about that.
Jerry, you can get it in, right?
So I did. I started my business. I went all the way in, and it was tough as shit. I mean, and he saw it because he said, look, he goes, instead of trying to do it out of your basement, why don't you just come and you can just, use one of my cubes in my office. And I think he charged me like $500 a month. I mean, it was nothing. Just to say, come on, just do it. And he goes, I'm lonely. Come on over here and do that. I don't think that's why he did it, but he saw it. And so Jerry and I always say this. I said, Jerry and I shacked up together for 8 of my 17 years. And if we had the secret cameras on there is no doubt we would have had a hit TV show. Because I would walk into his office. I come flying across the room. I'm like, you got a minute? And I had already kicked like 5 things on the way there. And I'd go into his office, shut the door, and he goes, what do you want? And when anybody does that to me, I'm like, no, you can bat your ass right back out the door, and we'll wait for a minute because I'm not ready for you. But he always said, sure, man, what's up? And I came in hot, Alan. Hot.
Yeah, well, that's, your MO. You do seem to surround yourself with people who are a little bit more, have an equilibrium about them.
Sometimes I have others that we won't ever have them on the podcast because it would be nuts. But Jerry, we haven't let you talk yet, but man, welcome to the show, buddy.
Soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me,
Jerry. Really appreciate it.
All right. So let's talk about this. You were a corporate dude.
Yeah.
And you were, again, I talk about this all the time. You were tonning it too. We all were. You were doing very well though.
Yeah.
What were you doing at that time?
Yeah. Basically I've spent my entire career in technology, sales and consulting, and kind of worked my way up through the ranks, selling software, consulting services. Ultimately, right before we started our business, I was SVP of sales for a consulting firm that was doing system integration for ERP systems back in the day, late 90s, early 2000s.
Which was a good time.
It was a great time to be doing it. So was doing really well. And then we had 4 kids. And so the track record in technology and all the travel that needs to be done around that, it's hard to have a family. Okay. So my wife and I talked about it and said, we got to figure out another way so that I can be home more to be present and help raise the kids. And
when you say you had 4 kids, was that the impetus? Was the kids, or did you have that plan before you guys thought about having kids?
Honestly, it was really a family situation where it drove that decision.
Alan, this is where you ask 4 kids. So what were their ages? Like 10, 8, 6, 2? No. So why don't you tell everybody?
So we have triplets, and then 16 months later we had our 4th.
Wow.
So
boom.
Instant family.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's a Jerry French line right there too. Boom. And there you have it. I have 4 kids. Favorite line ever. Jerry and his lovely wife, Sean, say this, that they went to Sean's mother and said, after the triplets were born, "Hey, Mom, I'm pregnant again." And Mom's response was,
Oh, shit.
not, "I'm so happy for you." So they had 4 kids right off the rip. I mean, very quickly, very close together. And so you guys said, "Hey, you need to be here." I mean, that had to be, it had to be a big, like a momentum shake. Like, obviously the kids are here, and now you're like, "Hey, I need to be here for these guys." And it's hard to think about, but look at all this money I'm making.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, believe it or not, my wife was working as well. So we had help at home, but she was still working in technology. So between the two of us, we were making a decent living. But we had seen all the people that we had worked with and the issues that were around, our line of work that we did, the travel and just the stress that puts on the family. And we just knew that it wasn't sustainable. So we really felt like we had to do something.
So what year was this?
Well, it was 2004 when that all went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2004, this is about, actually Jerry and I met Sean and him 2 years before that as they were having their basketball team. But you had to make a pivot. I never realized this at the time, but you only knew one way. I mean, I would have thought, and that's, I go corporate and I go big and I make big bucks. And now I'm going to go try to find something else. And in 2004, you didn't have podcasts like this, the Small Business Safari. Thank you very much. But you didn't have the internet. I mean,
You also didn't know that the bomb was going to drop just a few years later.
you had no idea 2008's on the roll.
Mhm.
So how did you get into researching this?
Well, honestly, it was living here in the neighborhood that we live in. I met tons of guys through the neighborhood that own their own business. And I saw, the money they made. I saw the hours that they had. And I'm like, that's something that we need to look into. So that's, the family side of it and also the neighborhood side really led us in that direction.
So you started investigating things. So what did you look at before you started this?
My God.
This
I mean, it was literally everything under the sun. So at the time, FranNet was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember that.
So, looking at different franchises out there, everything from interior design to cleaning restrooms. Okay. And everything in between. Outside of, actually, I take that back. Part of that FranNet was we investigated an awning company that was in North Carolina that was franchising. And so that was one of the considerations. So when we looked at the different businesses, really the most important thing for us was business hours. Okay. We wanted normal business hours, no weekends, because of the family situation. So immediately that really eliminated, a restaurant, nightclub, just all those things that typically are more focused after business hours. So that was the main priority. And so that really narrowed things down quite a bit for us. We went down the path and like I said, we looked at a lot of different things. A lot of things look promising. Okay. But, the one thing about the awning business that was attractive for us was it's a totally custom business. Okay. At the time, we weren't as worried about it in buying stuff off the internet. Okay. But in what I do, you can't go on the internet and buy what I do.
Yeah, you're Amazon proof.
Even today. Okay. So knock on wood.
You're AI proof.
He is AI proof.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, was there anything that was a number one candidate before you went for awnings?
Hiring people is the hardest thing we can do. Retaining people is even harder, but man, it is so hard to find good people. That's why I put my trust in qualified applicants. The team over there has done a great job helping me find sales managers, helped me find my office manager, helped me find my general manager, but has also helped me find my handyman here in my business at the Trusted Toolbox. Qualified applicants, they do a great job. They realize that this is not just a recruiting effort, it is a marketing and recruiting effort. And the way they attack our space of home services is amazing. Go check out Qualified Applicants now to help you with your hiring needs.
I have to say the interior design was actually attractive, just because from a clientele perspective, you felt like you had a certain amount of control to it. But again, that bled over into later hours, potentially weekend kind of stuff, and that really kind of took it out of the picture.
Alan, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
So did you buy a franchise or did you start on your own?
So we were literally, we had signed the paperwork, had the cashier's check ready to sign on with this company. And they called and said, hey, we sold the territory that you were interested in to another buyer.
So you were going to do it.
We're
100% lock, stock, and barrel.
So Jerry didn't join; he got even. Is what this story is.
Well, it's
And I'll tell you a little something about my friend.
Yeah.
That's right. He's quiet. He may be a little smaller than me,
Silent
but he
assassin.
definitely can get a even.
no, it was it literally you had to take a step back. Okay, so now what do we do? Okay, so we thought about it for a few days, and they were trying to find a way to work this out for another territory in Atlanta, and that just wasn't appealing to us. So
Because they wanted your fees. Man.
absolutely,
Hell yeah.
yeah. There's the upfront number, and then the repetitive that they get on a regular basis. So I just looked at my wife and I said, they have disclosed enough that I don't think I'm going to make X amount of dollars worth of mistakes. We can do this on our own.
But you still, at this point, you came from IT, corporate America. You know nothing about construction
Exactly.
or building awnings.
So my father's in the construction business in the Midwest. Okay. So I spent my youth working with him, doing all kinds of stuff construction related. So we won't have him on the show to validate.
We won't. And I would tell you, you said Jerry's kind of an idol of yours. Actually, it's his dad. Because when his dad used to come visit Jerry, he used to spend more time with me in my business and ride around with my guys and tell me all
Is
this
that
stuff.
right?
He did. Yeah, because
Oh, that's awesome.
he always used to say, he goes, my son is wildly successful. I'll never be like him, but I want to come work with you. And I knew that, to me, again, the backhanded compliment of, boy, you're really fucking it up. I want to come help you, bro. No, he was awesome. His dad is salt of the earth. He won't be on. Maybe we'll get him to listen to this thing. We'll have to show him how to download podcasts.
Right.
I'm going to make my dad listen to this thing too. But you go back to it, you had the background, but we thought we did.
There's a lot to figure out between
There's
where
a
you
lot
were
to
and where
figure
you
out.
yeah.
So there's another piece of the puzzle here. So we decided to go down this path. There is a company here in town that sells material specific to our business. Okay. And they want people to buy their aluminum extrusion. So they offered free training to awning companies that would buy their product. So my father and I actually went to their training, and they taught us how to build awnings and canopies and everything that was associated with our business. So that gave us a bit of a step in the right direction. And then the last piece of the puzzle is hiring somebody that really knows how to do it. And we found a competitor's employee as our first employee, and
But then you had to figure out pricing and all of that stuff.
Yeah. No, it was tricky. Again, the company in town that trained us also provided a spreadsheet for pricing as well. So a lot of
So you guys started out not underpricing yourself, not getting your dick kicked in, and putting a window in that took you 8 hours. For
upside down.
well,
Thank you.
actually,
I did not put it in upside down. I put it in right side up in St. Marlowe for $80. 10 years later,
Yep.
he asked me to put the damn thing back because it failed. And he goes, how much more? And I was like, brother, it ain't $80 anymore.
it is so funny. Obviously, I remember our first job. It was 3 little window awnings here on a house in our neighborhood, and we were ecstatic. Okay, we thought, oh, not here we go. Okay, then you figure out that it takes a lot to feed that engine.
You remember those startup days? You look back at it, it's so romantic when you think about them, but such a teeth kicking. And of course, he said, "Hey, I got somebody who told me pricing," and I think that's one of the things. Again, when you first start your business, I underpriced the shit out of myself in the beginning because I didn't get that wherewithal because of what I did, and my business was so difficult. He had it, but he still, again, sometimes the bear eats you, sometimes you eat it. I mean, here we go.
Yeah, you just, having been in sales all my career, you just ask a lot of questions. People generally tell you, where you ended up on from a pricing perspective. So you just gather that data and use it going forward. A lot of times what you're going to find is that there's a huge discrepancy in pricing. And so you just you got to figure out where you want to be on that continuum. Because in our business, like every business out there, there's always somebody that'll do it cheaper every single time.
Well, we just had somebody on the podcast talking about, the band analogy. You can hire Aerosmith to play your concert, or you can hire some kids who play the band because they were cheaper, and they come out there and go, plop, 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 plop. So you found out that there's a wide range in what you did.
Right.
So as you guys are finding this thing out and you're kind of finding your market, because I want to speed up to where we got now, go.
Yeah, no, well, on that note, I mean, when you're first starting out, just kind of like when you were first starting out, Chris, I mean, yeah, you're pricing it and you want to be on the higher end, but maybe you don't feel like you deserve it because you don't have the experience. I mean, that's a tough spot.
Yeah, that's very much the case. I mean, you want to gain the experience, you want to grow your customer base. Obviously, you want to keep your people busy. Okay. So you take what you can get early on and you learn from it and you figure out, what product set works for you, what customer base works for you, whether you want to do residential work or migrate.
I'll answer that. No fucking residential ever fucking again. You heard me, everybody.
Back to
I'm in
Chris's
residential.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Huh? You got a problem with that? That's what I should have. So Jerry, when I first shacked up with him and started doing this, he was doing residential, and one of the things you learned, well, no, again, go back to it. Let's talk about this though more seriously. That you determined that commercial was better for what you did and what you offered.
I mean, on the residential side, there's a lot of face-to-face meetings that are involved with that. Color choice is a big deal.
Emotion.
Emotion. When you're working on somebody's house, there's a different level of scrutiny than when you're doing commercial work. Okay.
Keep putting little knife cuts on Chris.
We've talked about this a million times.
I'm on the cross, my friends. I'm on the cross, and Jerry is taking the nails out and putting them right through my palms.
So I just, so all those visits, they just wear on your margin. Okay. And then ultimately, when you think you did a really good job, there's always something. Okay.
He liked it. She didn't.
Right.
He liked it. He didn't. You're like, but.
Or we thought this. Okay. I mean, again, this is a custom business. I can bring out color samples to you and show you what that looks like. But ultimately, at the time, I couldn't give you a rendering or anything like that to, superimpose on your house so that you really knew what the end product was going to look.
So the customer had no expectation. I just talked about this in another podcast that I was a guest on. That's the hard part of residential.
Yeah.
Homeowners don't know what to expect, but this is their castle. This is where they've raised their family. This is the most important thing in the world. And back to your point, Alan, it's so emotional.
They don't know what to expect, but it wasn't that.
Yeah. And so, and that's where, I mean, in my business, I joke about it, but I mean, I feel like we have figured out how to do this a little bit better than most because of our world and how variable it can be, because people don't know what to expect. And that's in a lot of businesses. But back into the commercial world, there's still a lot of unknowns. And it sounds like it's the panacea, but as Jerry will tell us, it probably wasn't everything.
No, on the commercial side, I mean, at least the world that we're in, every job that we have, it has architectural plans. So the decision's already been made. Okay. The architect's drawn out all the details. The owner signed off on it. It's been permitted by the city. So my job is to interpret those plans, build it, and install it on the building.
So are you essentially operating as a subcontractor for the general contractor then? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what an interesting niche. So
in this first business, because we got to hurry up and get there because I don't want to run out of time.
Well, and I do want to kind of fast forward to today, and you don't have to give numbers, but tell us, what kind of operation you have, because you've got a 20-year journey to get where you are now.
Yeah. So we've been in 3 different locations, 2 with Chris.
I've been on 2 of the journeys.
Does he know the new address?
I offered him the 3rd, and he said no. So I don't know what to.
I will say, we can't do this in this podcast, but we can do it in a therapy session. He did come back to me and said, "You kind of hurt me when you didn't come." And I'm like, I didn't realize I did that.
No, you're kind of like a pet.
I know. I'm the furry mascot. All right. So
it's grown over the years. So, I've tried to be really methodical about the growth, in that not outselling our capability. I think you've got to be able to deliver quality, in a timely basis.
I mean, can you talk about how many crews or employees, the geography?
Right now we run, generally about between 40 and 50 employees.
Wow.
All right, let's talk about this because I do want to hurry up and get to this part. When I was shacking up with Jerry, I love saying it like that too. Because I mean, if you had any idea, I wish we had video of me running across, kicking everything I could to run in there and go, "You got a minute?" And he'd be in the middle of like a million things. He'd be like, "Yeah, buddy, what do you want to eat?" And at the time, he was doing installations of canopy awnings, and he was starting to do a little bit of metal, right? And I didn't understand it, but I get it.
So it's fabric work.
The fabric work and then these metal things. And then he said, I'm going to come up with this other business because right now I'm building these custom things and installing these custom things, but I think I just want to manufacture these things and become the standard that architects use. And I want you to talk about because he has 2 companies. He has Skyscapes and Awnings Above Us. How did you get, I mean, if you did that in the middle of this, because you're in the middle of running the business, you're going a million miles. Well, you're not going I'm going a million miles an hour. You're going like 150 and kind of watching me run around him. And I had no fucking idea where Chris was going. You took a time out and said, wait a minute, I see another opportunity that will complement my business. How did you do that?
Yeah. So like I said, a lot of stuff that we get is on architectural plans. And in those architectural plans, they'll specify a certain vendor or manufacturer that they want to use or a basis of design. Okay. And we kept on seeing the same name all the time. Okay. And very few other names that were out there. I'm like, geez, how do these guys have all this market and how can they deliver on it? So we got looking into it and we looked at, the pricing that they were providing was just absolutely absurd.
Low.
High.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so there's an opportunity.
So, and they were the only game in town at the time. And I just looked at it and said, hey, we can do this. We can ramp up production. We started small and got our legs under us, build our foundation, did our marketing. Obviously social media has been a large part of it as well, participating in conferences, those kinds of things. And we've grown that business significantly over the years. And quite frankly, that will be the growth engine for us for years to come.
So, when I was at the bank and I was, again, big dog, and I was huge, dude. Did I mention I was tonning it?
You have a couple of times.
Did I mention I'm not anymore?
You have many, many, many times.
Right. But I'm back to tonning it because that's what every handyman does.
Yeah.
Right.
Every
It only
every
took
business owner.
Every other business owner is tonning it. But when Jerry came and talked to me about this, and as I saw what he did, it is always hard to provide great service. It's always easy to ask for good service. I heard that from Leon Waba when I was at SunTrust. And what Jerry was saying was, now I just spec it, I build it, and somebody else installs it. That's not my job anymore. I don't have to do the service of the install. I provide the materials, and now I'm not landlocked to Atlanta, Georgia, or the Southeast. I can provide it all across.
So you're not doing any installations?
We do.
Because you've got the two companies, right?
Correct. So Awnings Above still is a turnkey solution in the Southeast. So we'll go up to the Virginia border, we'll go over to the Mississippi border and go down to Orlando as far as going south. But Skyscape provides the same product set to the remainder of the country. So we manufacture and ship to the remainder of the country.
So love this, right? And so now you're a spec, and one of the things he did, and I'll let him explain it, is how did you become the other provider? I mean, because who specifies this stuff?
The architect, right?
Correct. So it's a lot of calling on architects, architects have to have continuing education units every year. So part of that, you can be certified to provide those education units to them. So they do that through what they call lunch and learns. Okay. So every architecture firm in the country needs these units, and it's a matter of getting on their calendar to provide, basically that learning opportunity for them. So technically it's not a advertisement.
It's not a sales call.
Correct. It's education on the awning and canopy business provided by Skyscape.
Hello.
How difficult was it to be certified as an instructor? Because that's brilliant.
Actually, you have to get your presentation together, submit it to AIA, which is the governing body over architects.
Which, for the record, is a very difficult organization to get your CEUs checked off. As a guy who I have to get CEUs for my general contractor's license. AIA is like the standard, and NARI is the right below them.
So that was key to that process. Also, on our website, if you go to skyscape.com, canopies.com, you can go to, there's a spec builder portion of our website that is frequently used by architects. So they can download architectural details and simply import those into their architectural plans. And at that point, then we are basis of design.
So Jerry French provides shade to the world. That's his job. That's what he does. He's grown his business. Here, and we're coming to the end. We're going to run out of time because I want to get to this. Jerry started his business when his kids were, hello, we got to make a move. I started my business after my kids were been around for a while, and I said, I'm going to do it. Why did I do it? My motivation was not to have a business or a legacy for my kids. I thought maybe they might like it.
You did it despite the kids, and Jerry did it for the kids. I mean, let's just get it out there.
Screw the kids. But good. Yeah, I agree with that. At least I got a PA, I got a lawyer, I got somebody who's going to get me out of jail, out of contract disputes. I got somebody who's already telling me I'm going to die early. I mean, she's a beaut. She's a beaut, by the way. Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, she just got done going, Dad, you need a full skin scan. I think you have problems. I think you're going to die. You have melanoma. I love my PA daughter. We all talk about her. Cherry knows her very well. So, Jared, when you started this, we talked about this. A lot of us think that when we're going to start a business, we don't think about exit planning. But when we do, it's usually too late in the game. I've watched 2 different general contractors here in Atlanta close their business without ever selling it. They just put it away. And I found out after the fact, because had they approached me, I would have went, I'm going to talk, man. We'll think. Maybe we could get some value out of it. What was your plan when you started this?
Well, the plan was to provide for my family and to be with them. Ultimately, we never really got to even really the thought of the kids being part of the business until they were in college. Okay. They got in college, they were doing their thing. All of them have business degrees from different universities. And then as they worked their way through, all the boys worked for us during the summer and breaks. So they've been involved in the business since they were teenagers. As they worked through school and kind of saw what their options were, honestly, my youngest was the first that said, I'm joining the business. Then the other 2 boys, their senior year, decided that they wanted to be part of it. So
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. My daughter works for Ernst & Young in San Francisco, in much the same business as
Oh my God!
my
Really?
wife and I were in when we were in the technology sector. So
What? Oh,
Yeah.
loser!
yeah,
He's at Ernst & Young in San Francisco. Oh, these kids! Oh my God, Jerry, grow better kids, man.
I know.
What the hell?
I know he only got 3 out
We're
of 4
trying.
working in the family business.
No, he's doing great. So now they're in, and so I was going to ask you, what's the favorite time of your business? But I know, because I know you, it's today.
Yeah.
You're here with the boys. The boys have said it to me. Again, unadulterated. I think they would tell me, they wouldn't just like blow smoke up my ass. They would say it. They really enjoy working with their dad. I'm like, dude, that is so cool. In fact, I don't want to say it too much more because I start tearing up.
Super jealous.
But I also feel about these kids. I think they're my buddies. I love hanging with them. They're fun, and he's created a great family environment that everybody gets to enjoy, and it's just been great to watch what they've done. So, kudos to you, Jer. I just love what you did. But
thank you.
yeah. So now we got to talk about the bad shit. No, I'm kidding. We're coming up at the end.
We are.
I know you got a hard stop. We got to get Alan out of here because he's got to go out there and kick somebody's ass in tennis.
I like it.
Right?
No,
Sure he loves-
I'm taking the wife out for a margarita.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you.
Don't want to
Family building.
I know. See,
Oh my God.
family first, right, Jerry?
That's right.
He did family first. All right. So as you look at this and where you're going, Alan asked that question. When you started the business, Awnings Above was 100% of your business. Now you have Skyscapes and Awnings Above. What percentage of your business is it today?
Right now,
Revenue-wise.
actually, right now it's an even split, 50-50. So Skyscape has been technically in existence for 8 years. So, and Awnings Above it's almost 21. So you can see on the growth side, Skyscape has really taken off over the year.
Where it's at.
Yeah.
How do you take the time to back up and see that and look at the forest over the trees and figure out that was happening?
It's hard. I mean, you've got to have a lot of discipline. I'm excited about the opportunity. I know the opportunity is good, but you don't want to go too far and break the reputation of a company that I've spent 21 years building. So if I outsell what I can do, it's all for naught. So it's really being patient and having discipline to kind of stay in your lane.
So hard. Jerry hit on something that I think is so big. So I'm in the retail business, and we talked about that already, about the value of that. But I have 1,250 plus reviews on Google now. and for what we
That's
do and help you.
insane.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when I say that, I don't mean to say it like that. I never thought I'd be over 1,000 ever.
No.
To be this big has been awesome for me. I'm just thrilled about what my business is doing on that side. But he just talked about something in the commercial world. They don't rely on Google reviews. You're not talking about what people are talking about you. But he says, but my brand means so much to me. And I don't think it should be lost on anybody. No matter what you do, at the end of the day, your name's on it. Whether you're the guy or they're the guy. And I tell my guys all the time, I'm not the face of our company. Those 1,257 reviews, I would tell you, 2 of them probably know me. All right, maybe 10. Oh, who am I kidding? You know, it's 500. I know everybody.
You know it's more than that.
Ah, you do. Come on. It's me, guys. Come on. That's me. But in commercial, you're thinking, screw it. I mean, so I screw up with one. Who gives a shit? I can go find another one. And you have to stay right there, because if you don't deliver that great customer service, you're
toast. I mean, whether it's commercial or residential, word gets out. And obviously, the cliche, bad news travels a lot faster. So you've got to really think your way through on, difficult situations that you have.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Small Business Safari. Remember, your positive attitude will help you achieve that higher altitude you're looking for in the wild world of small business ownership. And until next time, make it a great day.